The first time my mother looked at me with blank eyes, it was as if Lagos itself had gone silent. I had just returned from work, still in my banking suit, sweating from the heat and traffic at mile 2. The generator at home was growling, its fumes mixing with the aroma of fried plantain from Mom and Kechi's roadside shop. I pushed open the wooden door of our 2-room apartment in Surulere and found her sitting on the plastic chair by the window, the evening sun painting her face gold. "Mama, good evening," I said, dropping my bag. She turned slowly, her gaze resting on me like I was a stranger asking for directions. "Yes. Can I help you?" she asked in Yoruba, her voice polite but cautious. I laughed nervously, thinking she was joking. "Mama, it's me, Femi." Her brows furrowed. "Who is Femi?" The laughter died in my throat. Childhood in Surulere. My mother was not always like this. In fact, if Lagos had a crown for sharp-tongued, quick-witted market women, Mama would have worn it proudly. She raised me alone after my father left for Port Harcourt with another woman. From selling smoked fish in Tejuosho market to saving every naira for my school fees, Mama was both mother and father. I still remember how she used to call me, "Omomi, my son, the lawyer," whenever I came first in class. She wanted me to study law so that I could defend her when wicked landlords tried to evict tenants unfairly. Life didn't give me law but banking, and though she grumbled, she was proud. By the time I started working on Victoria Island, Mama had grown quieter. At first, I thought it was just age, her hair was graying, her back a little bent. But then she began to forget things. She would misplace her wrapper, accuse neighbors of stealing Gary, or call me by my late uncle's name. Still, I never imagined the day would come when my own mother wouldn't recognize me. The slow unraveling. That night, after she called me a stranger, I sat on the edge of her bed, trying to explain. "Mama, I am your son. You gave birth to me at Lagos University Teaching Hospital, 1991. You raised me here in Surulere. Look," I pointed at the family photo on the wall, a faded picture of me in my secondary school uniform, standing beside her at a wedding. She squinted at it, then shook her head. "That boy is fine, but I don't know him. And you, what do you want from me?" Tears stung my eyes. I excused myself to the corridor, where the neighbors' children were chasing each other with plastic bottles. The world was going on as usual, yet mine was falling apart. I began researching on my phone. The word kept appearing, dementia. A sickness that stole memories bit by bit, like Lagos traffic stealing time from your life. The doctor's visit. The next week, I took Mama to a private clinic near Ojulegba. The doctor, a middle-aged Igbo man with tired eyes, examined her. "She's showing symptoms of Alzheimer's disease," he said gently. "It's a type of dementia. Very common in older people, but in Nigeria, we don't always diagnose it early." I asked the obvious question. "Can it be cured?" He sighed. "No cure. Only management. Medication can slow it down, but she will need supervision. Her memory may continue to decline." My chest tightened. Lagos is a city where everyone is hustling, no time, no space. How was I supposed to care for Mama and still keep my job at the bank, where lateness was a crime worse than fraud? A stranger in the house. Living with Mama after that became like sharing space with a stranger. Some days she was her old self, calling me Femi, laughing at African magic Yoruba films, even gossiping about neighbors. Other days, she would push me away, insisting I was an intruder. Once, she almost reported me to the landlord, saying, "There is one tall man in my house who refuses to leave." The neighbors whispered. Is it jazz? Or has Mama Femi gone mad? In Lagos, madness is seen everywhere, from third mainland beggars to people shouting at invisible enemies on the street. But to call my mother mad felt like an insult to everything she had sacrificed. Work and worry. At the bank on Victoria Island, I wore my tie and processed transactions, but my mind was always back in Surulere. What if she wandered out and got lost? Lagos is not kind to the weak, Danfo buses don't stop for old women, and area boys don't pity anybody. One afternoon, while stuck in Lekki traffic, my phone rang. It was our neighbor, Mama Nkechi. Femi, come quickly oh. I saw your mother walking towards boat Thomas without slippers. She was saying she wanted to go to her father's house in Abeokuta. My heart nearly stopped. By the time I got home, sweat pouring, Mama was sitting in front of the house, scolding everyone. Why are you people holding me here? My son will soon come to pick me. He is a big lawyer now. I sat beside her, shaking. Mama, I am here. She looked at me, confused. You are not my son. My Femi is small, about this high. She measured with her hand near her hip. I broke down in tears. The decision. Relatives advised me to send her back to the village in Ogun State, where cousins could watch her. But Mama hated the village. She always said, Lagos is my home. If I die, bury me here. So, I hired a young lady, Dupe, to stay with her during the day. Dupe was patient, feeding her, making sure she bathed, telling her stories. At night, I took over, even though exhaustion weighed on me like sandbags. Sometimes, when Mama looked at me with those empty eyes, I wondered if she had truly forgotten me, or if somewhere deep inside, she still knew. Flashes of memory. There were rare, precious moments when the clouds lifted. Like the night Nipper took light and we sat outside under the moon. She suddenly turned to me and said, Femi, do you remember how I used to sell fish at Tejuosho, shouting until my voice cracked? My eyes widened. Yes, Mama, I remember. She chuckled softly. Or, Lagos will not kill somebody. We laughed together, and for those few minutes, I had my mother back. But then the fog returned, and she asked, Sorry, young man, what is your name again? The breaking point. The worst day came during Christmas. I had bought her a new Ankara wrapper and cooked jollof rice. Neighbors came to greet her, and I thought it would lift her spirits. Instead, she grew agitated, shouting that she didn't know anybody there. She overturned the pot of rice, spilling it across the floor, and slapped me when I tried to calm her. The neighbors murmured, shaking their heads. I felt humiliation burning in my chest. That night, after cleaning the mess, I sat alone on the balcony, staring at Lagos lights twinkling in the distance. For the first time, I allowed myself to whisper the thought, maybe I cannot do this anymore. Faith and hope. But then, something stronger than exhaustion rose in me, memory. I remembered how Mama once trekked all the way from Yoba to Surulere, carrying a sack of fish on her head, just to pay my exam fees. How she never once abandoned me, even when she could have. How then could I abandon her now? So, I prayed. I prayed in English, Yoruba, and even silence. In a city that eats dreams, prayer is sometimes the only rope tying you to hope. Today. It has been 2 years since Mama first failed to recognize me. She now spends most days staring out the window, humming hymns from church. Sometimes she thinks I am her brother, sometimes a neighbor's son. But every once in a while, when I least expect it, she looks straight into my eyes and says, Femi, my son, you have done well. Those words are enough. They are Lagos traffic paths for me, they are Nipper bringing light after 3 days of darkness. My mother may not always recognize me anymore, but I recognize her. I recognize the woman who built me with sweat and sacrifice, who carried me on her back through the storm of life. And I will carry her now, until the very end.